Hey there,
Yeah.
guys. Welcome to Confessions of the Idiots. Everybody wants to confess, but not everyone wants to hear them. Today, I'm joined on the isolation tapes by one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And man, I'm a huge fan of, welcome back, the great, the legendary Adam Zwar. Welcome back.
Thank you, Sam. Good to see you.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm isolated. It's good in LA because summer's slowly creeping in,
Yeah.
and the only thing is I'm not seeing anyone, which, as you said before, is my
Your
preferred
preference?
yeah my preferred life. I
It's really,
just too much
Corona's
pain.
really worked out for you.
That's right. Too much pain. Socializing is too much pain, mate. I just end up hating myself and hating the things I said.
What are you doing to keep entertained in these times? Are you watching anything? Are you doing anything different than you usually do, apart from not seeing
I,
people?
no, just normal writing process. Not seeing people. I've got stuck right into BoJack Horseman.
Oh, great.
Um,
Okay.
which sometimes you miss out on things, and this is one of those things that we missed out on, so it's just like we've got what 6 seasons of it to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're in season
It's
2 at the
so
moment.
dark.
So dark and brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't the writing amazing and the world that it's in? Because
Mm.
you just kind of accept it after a while. You go, oh yeah, there's just a talking cat. Like you just, and as
Yeah.
it goes on, it gets more and more ridiculous, and you just don't even think about it after a while. You go, how are they living in these worlds?
That's right. And I do sometimes when it's normalized for you, and then you're just laughing at the content, and then suddenly you're breaking. But oh no, there's a cat and an owl and everything. That's funny. It's funny all over again. It kind of
Yeah.
comes in. No, I'm loving it.
Is your next show now about animals now? Talking animals?
Oh
You're really
yeah,
inspired.
because I've
You've exhausted the talking animals perspective.
I should go down that path. Don't
You
worry,
should.
I do think about it.
A talking
Uh,
dog?
yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah. Call him
I
Wilfred.
yeah.
Wilfred. Yes, Wilfred.
Well, look, it's something that when you're tired and you're creatively spent, you sometimes want to go back to
Yeah.
the hits and memories,
A-
and
yeah.
yeah,
A
have
tried
another.
and tested formula that works so well.
That's right. Let's just do that again. Let's get a talking cat.
Were you
Yeah.
involved in the American Wilfred at all? Or did you hand over your baby at that point?
I handed it over. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the short answer. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no point in getting into too many fights.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I did have, I would give feedback occasionally, but no one wanted it, no one cared. So, because I was being paid, not much, but
Yeah,
being paid.
sure. Yeah, yeah. And you're just able to go, well, I guess I'm here. I'm having a
Yeah,
good
that's right.
time. Did you,
Yeah.
because I remember watching it and seeing Robin Williams and people
Yeah.
like that. Like the cast was just incredible. And obviously, the Australian version is beyond incredible. Like it was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I actually got to go back and watch the Tropfest film, the first Tropfest film. For people who haven't seen the Tropfest film, it is just so funny.
Oh,
Like,
thanks. It's on YouTube, isn't it? That
yeah.
old.
.com.
Yeah.
.com. I will specify.
Yeah. It's look, I've got a friend called Trent O'Donnell who used to be executive producer on New Girl. He's a director. He's directed a lot of The Good Place and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and he created No Activity and The Moodies. And he
Yeah,
likes
right.
to go up to people if they're wearing any Wilfred merchandise, if they've been Wilfred crew members or anything. He goes, hey, he goes, he goes, what do you think of Adam Zwar? And they go, I don't know who that is. It's like they literally have no idea that I created the show, that they were working.
Wow.
That's the American
That's
thing.
so
It's like,
funny.
we don't think about what happened there. This is
Yeah.
it.
Is that his opening gambit? Is there a hello? Or what do you think about Adam Zwar?
Well,
That's my opening line to people as well, just so you know.
it'll be
Everyone.
crew members. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's to the crew members who he's working with, and they'll be wearing
Right.
a kind of a Wilfred top, and
Yeah.
he goes, hey, so you know Adam, wouldn't you? No, and they're really polite Americans. No, sir, no.
No, sir. No, sir. No, captain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, so that's my involvement in Wilfred. Yeah.
Well, we have got some great online confessions today, Adam. I've
Awesome.
got 3 online confessions to get through, and hopefully you will be able to feel a bit happier about your life after going through these, because there's some real weird people out there, as you well know.
I love it.
I got the first confession that comes from Ian. Ian writes, "I'm absolutely addicted to cold and flu tablets."
On you, mate.
He's a good
What?
guy. You can tell already.
What, the nighttime ones, or
He doesn't go into it. He just says
Yeah,
absolutely addicted. It all started when I
beautiful.
came up with the idea that maybe if I had them all year round, then I would never get sick.
Yeah.
Do you
No,
think
that's
that's
not gonna work.
genius, or that's? Yeah.
No, it's no, it's just because it's just to I mean, I'm not a scientist or an epidemiologist,
You haven't claimed to be.
like everyone else. No, I think it's just to clear congestion and keep your temperature down. It's not actually going to the source of the problem. Like
Yeah.
Ian, I would recommend if you want to keep your immunity up, garlic or echinacea oil or
Exercise, eat well.
exercise. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sleep.
no, but good on him. But if he's taking the nighttime ones, he might just start at night. It's good for sleeping.
Yep. Okay. So maybe he wants that. Maybe that's why he's doing this. But he says, that was my bright idea and I stuck to it. But then I started buying them all the time. Just the harmless ones from a supermarket. None of that over the counter nonsense.
Okay.
And stock up every few days. I tried to tell a friend about it, that I'm always stocked up with lozenges and all sorts of cold and flu medication. And they asked me about it. I told them what I was doing and he thought I was joking. But I have a very addictive personality. A very
And no
addictive
cold.
personality. And no
Yeah.
colds. No colds all year round. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
It is
Go
weird,
on.
isn't it? To do that all year round and just go, this is my life now.
Yeah.
To not stop, not not have a break
So
from it.
Ian's a drug addict. He's just
Yeah.
on uppers and downers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's basically just got a confession of a guy who needs to go into rehab
Yeah.
now.
For cold and flu tablets.
Yeah, so I even understand that it's off the shelf. It's not the over the counter one, so it's not really containing the hard stuff. But still, I mean, I get it if he's on the herbals, that's fine. I
Right.
don't think that's going to make much of a difference. But if he's on just your chemicals ones, and I'm not prepped with the chemical names here, but
You haven't got them written on your wall.
No, but that's just uppers and downers. It's just old school, old school kind of truck driver stuff.
Truck driver stuff. Yeah. Have a few no-dos before you have a night out.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, you can stay. Yeah, go on, Ian. Go on. Keep going here.
He says, a very addictive personality. Before this, I was addicted to mincemeat. Did you see that coming?
No, that's brilliant. Do I need to know anything else?
He takes you down all these different turns, doesn't he? And the mincemeat just came out of nowhere. You wouldn't see that coming around the corner.
So he's bolognese guy.
Bolognese guy. Big bolognese guy. Big taco guy, maybe.
Yeah. No, I get that,
I can relate.
It's terrible because, there's a lot of, sacrifice from cows. But yeah, it's, if he's a bolognese guy, what I would say about bolognese, just as a sidebar, is
you've got a lot of opinions on bolognese.
Yeah, it's a dash of milk. Just put a dash of milk. It actually, it just helps the sauce. It just gives it a
really
richness to the sauce. A guy called Michael Williams, who used to run the Wheeler Centre, who you should have on the pod. Mm-hmm. Huge intellect. He was one of the breakfasters on Triple R with Sam Pang back in the day. And he told me over Twitter that I should put a dash of milk in my bolognese.
Really?
And so I don't know if Ian subscribes to that. I reckon that Ian's in his. I'm expecting a lot more addictions because no one's really called Ian anymore, right? So
Yeah.
he'd be at least in his 40s.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And he's probably putting some, some cold and flu tablets in the bolognese sauce, some lozenges. We don't really know. Because I'm a big carrot person in my bolognese. I grate up carrot and I put it in there. Is that
Yeah,
it?
my mum used to do that.
Some people hate it. Some people get so mad.
No,
No.
it's good.
What about some people put apple in it? Are you an apple person?
No,
Nah,
not
that's
my
stupid.
bolognese. Yeah.
Not in my bolognese. Just keep that out.
Look, I just don't. Wouldn't imagine. You've got to try and hark back to what the Italians would have done, and you can't. I don't. Yeah.
Well, no
they're
apples.
Not putting apple on.
No apples in Italy, famously.
No, not just like. Look, I understand. I do one slightly weird thing with. I do have the I'm not 100% against the pineapple on the pizza, and the reason for that is I'm a Queenslander, but I definitely am apples against putting in any sort of meat.
Right. Okay. Well, we got. I'd have to store kilos of it in the freezer because I was eating so much of it. I'd add it to everything like it was some sort of seasoning because I loved it so much. So some sort of seasoning, like mint seasoning instead of salt and pepper. I still eat a lot of mince and I still take cold and flu medication all year round, but I don't tell anybody because I know, because of how my friend reacted the first time when I tried to open up about the cold and flu tablets, it's left me keeping this secret shame hidden. I've tried and tried to make myself feel better about it, but the truth is I'm a cold and flu addict and a lot of people would just tell me to stop. Maybe I don't want to stop. Maybe I want to continue and let myself be me. The best version of myself I can possibly be. Is that wrong? All right, so that comes from Ian, Adam. That comes from Ian. So he's got an addictive personality. That's his confession. Cold and flu tablets and mince meat. A great combo for your Saturday night.
I would suggest there are better things to be addicted to.
Yes. Yep.
I'd say that, if you choose your poison.
Choose your poison, not mince.
I'd say not mince. I'd say they're kind of, they're harmless.
Yep.
I would say quite harmless addictions. I reckon the cold and flu might get you at some stage. But I would say that Ian's a very eccentric person.
Yes. Yep.
I'd also say
he's not normal. Let's just say that.
No, he doesn't want to talk to anyone about it. You should talk to someone about it, Ian, because that's, I think
it's going to rip your life apart.
It's gonna actually play a bit of havoc on your kidneys. Oh, sorry, on your liver.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So you probably there's going to be a time when you need to take stock on the cold and flu tablets, particularly. I mean, I think the mints will probably take a little longer to kill you.
Oh, yeah, probably will.
The cold and flu. But yeah,
the mints will just block you up over years, won't it?
Yeah. But good stuff. But yeah, what you just said about seasoning the meat with or whatever he's having with mince. Maybe he's a genius.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Putting mince meat on every single dish. Just sprinkling it on. Imagine that. Imagine seeing someone come out sprinkling mince meat all over your beautiful meal. Having a nice Caesar salad.
Salt,
maybe a nice tiramisu. Yeah. Putting some mince meat on it. So you think he needs to talk to someone about it, Adam? That's your advice at the moment, to just talk about it.
Yeah, because the cold and flu tablets will, his liver's going to be struggling to process that over time. So he needs to talk to someone about it because he needs to get off them, I would say. Yeah. And just, and also that they're probably not having any effect right now. So it's probably just a psychological thing. I know I'm not being terribly funny here, but I do take that kind of seriously. I think it's a health warning. Yeah.
To everybody out there.
Yeah.
Stop taking cold and flu.
Is there someone like, you have a sponsor for alcohol addiction?
Oh, yeah.
NA addiction. Do you have a sponsor for mincemeat addiction?
For mincemeat.
Or cold and flu
addiction? Butcher, an ex-butcher.
That's right.
That comes around to chat about the darkest times he was ever in.
It fucking ends on the mince again.
And people coming around and finding all the mincemeat tucked away in his freezer under things. You still got it, man. You still got it.
That's right. Oh, you got to tell your kids, mate.
Yeah.
You got
Oh
to.
God, that's a big
It's got to be an
conversation.
intervention. Yeah. Go
Hi,
on.
I'm Ian, and I'm addicted to bolognese. I think he's probably fine. I think that's the least of his worries, to be honest. I think he's just got an addictive personality, and he doesn't know where it's going to go.
Have you seen Ian? Yeah, is he back on the bolognese? Is he back on the bolognese? Um, yeah, I did have a friend once who wanted to do a book on bolognese, where he interviews a different person each week and with their recipe, with their
Oh
bolognese
man,
recipe,
I think
because as
that's
you said
great.
before, carrots and apples. I mean, everyone's got their own
Yeah, their own
bolognese recipe.
blends, and everyone
Yeah,
seems to have an opinion on it, or just hate how someone else makes bolognese, and
100%.
goes, "That's wrong."
But you know who I go to for bolognese advice, and that's Ian.
Yeah. It's always Ian. Ian's the smartest guy we know. Well, I think we solved his problems, Adam. And I will show you. There's a
Awesome.
little. Doris has just joined me. I don't know if you can see Doris just there,
Oh,
but she's
Doris,
Doris. Look there, Doris. Look, hello. She's just
aren't you
joined just to say
beautiful?
she's so nice. She's just joined just to say hello on the podcast.
Hello, Doris.
She's just saying
Aren't
hey.
you beautiful? Can she hear me? Doris, hello, hello, hello.
She's looking through my headphones because you can see it coming
I'm
straight through. So she was worried about the cold and flu as well. So she's here for advice.
I'm a
She's
cat
addicted.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's great. Have you got a cat over there?
2 cats.
Oh, two
They're-
cats.
Yeah,
They're around
they're not in
somewhere.
the. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're floating around. Yeah, 2 cats.
Well, I've got
Ex-
another confession that comes from Michael. Michael confesses, I once pretended to be a ghost when I was about 15 and scared the absolute shit out of my cousin.
That's brilliant.
We
I
were
love that.
staying in a holiday house with the whole family, and I wanted to spook him. We were always playing funny practical jokes on each other like that. It does sound funny, doesn't it?
Yeah, I reckon it's pretty good. I think
Yeah.
that's like, at what stage did he go? Oh, it just makes sense. Want to scare someone? How
Yeah.
can I scare them? Ghost.
Always ghost. Always ghost.
Yeah, go to.
Yeah, the go-to. But ever since then, he's told the story at the time he saw a ghost and quite literally pissed his pants.
He did.
Yeah.
The guy. So it's a bit of karma coming back to him.
No, so Michael,
Mm.
Michael's talking about his cousin who still
Oh yeah.
mentions this story to the day.
Oh
And
yeah. Gotcha.
that he pissed his pants. It's almost
Uh-huh.
as if his whole life was defined by that moment. He now believes in ghosts. We're both 18 now, and he tells the story all the time to the point where it's actually getting pretty annoying. It's like the guy only has one story. I feel like I really need to tell him because people think he's crazy. It's ruining his social life. He literally tells everyone. He thinks he saw a ghost 3 years ago when it was just me wearing a white sheet. What a fucking idiot. That comes from Michael. So he
Oh.
scared his cousin 3 years ago when they were both 15, and his cousin still believes that he saw a ghost.
Well, considering that the cousin only has one story,
Yeah.
and
Not
that's
even
the
a good
ghost.
story, just pissed his pants.
It's sort of it's not a good story. He needs to get some more stories.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the cousin deserves this.
Right,
It
okay.
it's like he needs to get smarter. And but also Michael has left it too late to tell him.
Yeah.
I
You think
reckon
3 years is way too long?
statute of limitations. Yeah. I just think it's over. You had to go in. Like I'm guessing like 3 weeks would have been the cutoff point.
Yeah, okay.
You had to come in quick because this guy, the more he's told that story, the less he can tell. The less chance he's got to, or less opportunity he's got to tell. Is the cousin
The
that it was
unnamed
him?
cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, because you just it's it
And he
would
believes in
because
ghosts now.
yeah, he believes in ghosts. Look, I don't mind believing ghost things, but it's just the what's going to happen is the cousin's going to revisit every time he's told the story and feel like a major dickhead. He's never going to talk to Michael again.
No, God no. Like, because he's out at a bar and he's always going, "Oh, I saw a ghost once," out of nowhere. I imagine he's the sort of person that just leads into a story without any build up to it. It's just like, have you guys been traveling recently? I once saw a ghost. And you're like, oh,
Yeah, that's
fucking
right.
hell. Because
that's funny, mate.
I imagine that Michael would be like, "Oh God, here he goes again with this story that we've heard. We've heard so many times before." So Michael's actually just sick of the story and knows it's not true. And I kind of love it that the cousin pissed his pants, and maybe Michael was going to reveal that it was him, but kind of because that was so embarrassing, went, "Oh, maybe I'll just leave it."
I got big on him, 100%.
Yeah.
It's so like one of those practical jokes that just go wrong, and you can't say anything. It's over. So Michael's punishment for being a little bit cruel is to listen to that story for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's the only option.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, sorry, mate. I do take these problems very seriously. It's it's like it's like admitting to something that there's certain things you've only got a few days window on, that you've got to say something or forever hold your peace. Is that the phrase?
Yeah. At a wedding, maybe bring it up at a wedding. Like wait until your cousin gets married and bring it up then.
That's excellent. In fact, but then look, the cousin may not ever speak to him again.
Yeah.
That's what we need to actually. That's what we need
that might
to
be it for their relationship.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I reckon because if he's got any kind of, I mean, he might be one of those kind of happy-go-lucky guys to whatever. Yeah, Michael's a bit of a dick. He got me. Yeah, that's fine. But no, if he's got any sort of dignity at all, he'd go, no, that was a bit of a shit thing to do, and he's let me tell that story so many times in public, particularly the pissing the pants bit, and no, he's not my friend anymore. He's not my cousin anymore.
He's not well, you would completely cut him out of the family.
No, I just reckon I wouldn't, but there's a chance Michael's cousin will.
That is for sure. I think that's some great advice. And we've got the final confession, Adam, that comes from Abby. Abby writes, okay. My friend Tess and I went on a cruise together. I've never been a cruise kind of person. Everyone says that goes on cruises. And I never will be. But the idea of being on the high seas with Tess, drinking all day and watching wonderful theatre at night seems too good to pass up.
Wonderful theatre? Give me a break. Have you been on a cruise? The shittest theatre. Go to the fucking West End or Broadway.
Imagine that saying, oh, I wouldn't go to the West End. It's got nothing on the Starlight Cruise.
The Oriana.
The Oriana. The Oriana does a wonderful dinner and a show, I think you'll find.
That's right. Yeah.
The magic tricks.
I don't know.
I had no idea, however, that for the full time, I would be ridiculously sick. I don't know if I had some sort of motion sickness, but when I got on the boat, my stomach was basically churning for the full 2 weeks. I didn't want to let Tess down and tell her. I really pushed myself. Tess was going through a divorce at the time, and I knew how much this trip meant to her. All right, so she's basically Abby's being kind of forced to go on this trip with Tess, doesn't really want to be on the trip, but because Tess has gone through a divorce, Abby's like, well, I'm here for it. I'll push down my motion sickness. Yeah, what a nightmare.
Yeah. I reckon a lot of people would have done that with coronavirus, by the way. I mean, but a lot of testers who would have gone through divorces, and a lot of Abbies have gone, I've got it's coronavirus, but she's just been through a divorce.
She's been through a divorce? Yeah, now's not the time.
I'm going to wreck my life, and I'm going to wreck the lives of the 400 people I come into contact with when I get.
Let it spread. Let it spread. Don't worry about it. She's been through a divorce, for God's sake.
That's right.
I really pushed myself. Tess was going through a divorce, and I knew how much this trip meant to her. I was going to be the best friend I could be, and I wasn't going to let anything get in the way of that. I'd let things get in the way before, and this time was going to be different. She doesn't go into that, Adam. There's nothing. There's no description of that.
She's the reason. Is that Abby the reason for Tessa's divorce?
Maybe. We don't know that for sure, but let's say definitely.
Let's say definitely, and let's say that's her penance is getting on the cruise ship and being sick for 2 weeks.
Oh God!
I do see a lot of kind of instant karma in all your confessions.
They're not my confessions, Adam. For God's sake.
No, the ones you've chosen. it just like I see people doing something wrong and then going, oh fuck, I got karma hit me straight in the face
Yeah.
again. Yeah. So like I've been on cruises. Oh, sorry, I've been on one cruise. And
Right.
have you been on a cruise? Have you
No,
been on a
God,
cruise?
no, no.
Okay.
I
As a
really,
kid, I went on a cruise.
right. I've avoided it my whole life. I think it sounds like the worst fucking thing ever. I had an ex-girlfriend once that wanted me to go on a cruise with her parents and her. And
Oh, wow.
I really just started, because I just started avoiding the question until I got out of
Right.
it. So I just bring up something else all the
Yeah.
time, something
'Cause you didn't have
funner
an
to do.
excuse.
Yeah, I didn't have an
Yeah.
excuse. I was just like, yeah, but the weather's good today. Like just anything to get out of it.
And how did you get out of it?
She just forgot about it after a while. She stopped bringing it up as much, and the parents went on the cruise, and
Oh, without
I
her, right?
without her, and I was just so
Yeah.
happy. Like I was busy with
Yeah,
work.
man.
That was always my excuse. I don't think I could do it now. Like
Well, in your
if for
current
some reason in
relationship.
my current relationship, like just going like, oh my god, just can't do it. Just can't. I'm so busy, when they know it's fake.
That's yeah, it's not a good thing to do, the cruise. Like if you're not on the decks, the nicer decks,
Yeah,
um if you're not on them, like if you're on this in the old days when I went on, there was C deck and below, which is just you had the little
right.
porthole, and you either at sea level or under sea level, and you're in this little room with bunks. And yeah, sure, there's gambling and theater and some
I
comedians.
love that for the people just listening to this, you definitely did the inverted commas around theatre.
That's right. Yeah, theater. Look, I do know some really good comedians who have gone on and done the cruise thing, but they don't do it for long.
No, God no. And they do it for
And
money. There's no passion there.
no, but yeah, that's right. And yeah, they're not doing their best. They're
Yeah.
doing 3-year-old material. And and then you got a few kind of lounge singers or bands that do it. It's like you're right, mate. They're doing it for money. So that is those things are not worth and the bad food and the deck tennis and the coronavirus filled pools.
Yeah.
They're not worth like being in a bunk bed under the water for 2 weeks. I'm sure you get like port leave and you go around with the other people and you go on these shitty tours and you get in buses and you go on a tour. Oh man, it's
It sounds
awful.
awful. Yeah, it's like
The
you're
worst.
trapped.
Yeah. So Abby, yeah, I don't know if you're responsible for Tessa's divorce, but if you were, that was your punishment.
Yeah.
A
You
cruise.
deserve this.
Don't go on
So,
cruises, kids.
so there we were every day, just drinking girls' cocktails and having a great time together. Tess got dressed up every single day.
Wow.
As I was feeling sicker and sicker, I stopped caring about what I wore. But Tess was, of course, trying to look her best and would be divorced for a long time to come.
Oh.
I love that she says divorced for a long time to come. You never really become undivorced, I don't think.
No, you don't.
Oh,
That's funny,
she's not
mate.
divorced anymore. I think she is
Um,
still.
no, she is. So this is obviously written in the 90s, this email.
Yeah,
For,
yeah.
for a long time to come. No, so Tessa's obviously, that was her thing, was she was going to meet someone by hook or
Yeah.
by crook.
Yep.
And Abby was, well, Abby was not providing any competition. Let's
No.
just put it that
She's
way.
being the
She was,
perfect wing person, and
that's it.
also like because her guts were churning nonstop. She didn't care anymore.
She didn't care. But, the funny thing is Abby probably would have lost a few kilos too.
Yep.
So she
Yep.
probably would have been looking excellent.
Yeah. With all that
Um,
motion sickness and girls' cocktails.
That's right. What a nightmare. What a nightmare for both of them. Like, seriously.
I loved how she would dress up every day like she was going to the races, even though the bulk of our day was walking or drinking on the blasted boat. Tess had this beautiful hat that she brought, a hat fitting for the races themselves. It was her grandmother's, who died a few years back, and it was honestly her most prized possession.
Tessa's had a lot of grief.
She's had a lot
She's
of
had a
grief in
lot
her
of
life.
grief.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you're going on the cruise with her.
Yeah, that's right.
She spoke about it all the time, and quite often late into the night when she was crying and crying, she would say, "At least I've got this." Doesn't that sound like the most
What, the hat?
depressing? Yeah, the hat. Her
Oh,
grandmother's
wow.
beautiful hat. Doesn't that sound like the most depressing trip? Just Tess always dressed up, dolled up, just crying and crying into the night, saying, "At least I've got this hat."
Oh, fuck, mate. It is. It is so depressing. Like, she's fucking leaning heavily on the cocktails, and by about 6:30, the tears come out. Oh, well, poor
It's not
Abby.
good. It just sounds like if that wasn't depressing enough, this is the most depressing thing. Like the cruise itself was depressing enough, but now this is another level on top of
But
that.
she's just got a hat. That's what she doesn't have a husband anymore. I
No,
presume it's a
she's still
husband.
divorced.
She's still divorced. She hasn't got a friend because Abby is like, she's down for the count.
Yeah,
But she's got her grandma's hat.
she'll always have that. At least she's got that. Do you know where this
Well,
confession is going at the moment, Adam?
no, we'll always have the hat. No, no, I don't.
The beauty of where we were staying was that we had our private little deck. It was a bit more expensive, but you've really got to spend your money, don't you? I guess.
No shit. No shit, it's expensive.
What else is it for? So one afternoon, we're out on our private balcony together, and I'm feeling really, really sick. Tess excuses herself to use the ladies' room, and that's when it hits me. I'm going to shit myself, and we only have one bathroom. Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
To avoid embarrassment, I look around quickly. There is no time. What do you do in that situation, Adam Zwar? When you're on a private deck, there's no bathroom around you, what are you going to do? Are you going to wait
mate.
for the toilet? What are you going to do?
I just take forcibly just take Tess out of the toilet and just go
Take
in
it by
there.
force. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would do. But I mean, I'm presuming she went for the ocean. Did she have a
Wow. To avoid embarrassment, I look around quickly. There is no time, and I see Tessa's grandmother's hat. If not now, yeah.
Why didn't I pop us that?
If not now, then when? I bend over. I love if not now, then when? Like it was going to happen anyway at some point. She was going to shit in her hat at some point. If not now, then when? I bend over and I shit in it. I fill it right to the top and then throw it off the boat.
Of course she does.
As soon as I feel the release, I'm instantly regretful. I can't believe what I have done. Tess comes back and instantly looks around for a hat. I tell her, crying, that her hat had blown away off the deck. I tried to stop it, but the gust of wind was too powerful for little old me. And that was that. Tess was so upset for the rest of the trip. I'd covered up all of this so well. I'd acted quickly and, of course, sat back down like everything was normal after emptying myself into her grandmother's hat. She's really got a way with words, doesn't she?
Emptying myself.
The hat had held her grandmother's head just years before. Isn't that a horrible thing to think about? Like when you've shit.
Now it's holding my poo.
This hat that had held her grandmother's head has now been shit into and thrown off a boat. We've all had that feeling. The hat had held her grandmother's head just years before. I was terrified that the hat had fallen on the lower deck, but thankfully nobody ever mentioned anything. Because that would be a legitimate concern, that the hat hasn't actually blown off into the ocean, that it's just fallen onto the boat somewhere else. But
fortunately, it's got a significant amount of weight in it, so you get a bit of traction on your swing.
But Tess is so sad, and I feel awful about it. Is it something that I can come clean to her about?
No.
Or is it something that I'm just going to have to put down to a bit of bad luck? All right,
Adam, of bad luck.
You're saying already never come clean to something like that.
Oh, mate, I think there's a theme in the podcast I did last time and this time with you. It's like, just don't say anything.
Don't say anything, yeah.
Because what ends up happening is it just ends up relitigating the horrible thing all over again, and that dredges up the emotions. No one feels any better.
No.
Time is the only healer. But that is, it's been, yeah. There are no winners in confessing that situation.
No, never.
Yeah. So, but good on her for confessing to you, mate.
Would you ever? You think you'd never ever sit down and say to Tess when we're on the cruise together, would you just live with that guilt? That's how you do it. Would you buy her a new hat? How would you rid yourself of that guilt, Adam?
Oh my God. Look, I don't think I'd be feeling that guilty about an inanimate object,
Yeah.
regardless of the fact that it's held her grandmother's head. If I did something to a human being, or probably even worse, an animal, that's when I get guilty.
Yeah.
But I know she's indirectly affected, but yeah, I don't, if she cares that much, she probably bloody well shouldn't. She shouldn't have taken it on the cruise.
Yeah.
If you care about your grandma's hat, don't take it on a cruise. Don't go on a cruise. Just
That's good
stay away
advice
from
for everybody.
cruises
Yeah.
for your hat, grandmother's hat, and you.
Yeah.
So, neither of you should have been up there. Neither,
You're so
yes,
stressed about this right now.
yeah. So look, yeah. I think. Do you know what? I think that the hat served Abby. So it provided a very important service.
Yep.
In its last seconds of being on this earth, or
It
being
did.
on land,
Yep.
on a boat.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the grandma would have wanted, to provide a
Provide a
service.
service where it held her head not but many years ago.
And I think that spirits don't, if you do believe in spirits, they're not judging whether you've looked after one of their
A
inanimate
hat.
objects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's going, oh, well, that serves its purpose. I think
Yep.
she'd have a sense of humor about it. The
Yep.
grandma would have a sense of humor about it. Yeah.
Who do you think, if this was a film, who would you want to see play Abby and Tess, the two best friends? Is there anyone, if this was made into a beautiful movie, who would
Well,
you cast?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge would be Abby,
Oh, of
obviously.
course, obviously. Yep.
And Tess. Oh,
Who would you cast Tess as?
Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson. Amazing cast. Amazing cast.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, at the end of that, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. Have you got any
My
advice
pleasure.
for people out there who are, trying to whittle away the hours? They're self-isolating, they're at home. And what's a good way to keep up momentum and not just lie in bed all day and
Look, I think there's worthwhile. There's worthwhile. You might need to edit this. There's something worthwhile to be gained out of playing computer games and stuff like that. I think that keeps your mind active. I think you should read the stuff that you never got around to reading. Watch the shows that you never got around to watching. Perhaps learn to meditate. I'm being very serious now.
No, don't book that cruise.
That's right. Don't book the cruise, and learn how to cook. If you don't know how to cook properly, maybe this is a good time to learn how to cook. I should take that advice. But
mix up the bolognese recipe for once in your life.
Put carrots in your bolognese. Just try it.
Just try it. You might hate it. You might like it.
That's right. I reckon you'll like it. It won't. If you don't, you'll either like it or it won't have any impact on you whatsoever, which just means it's good for you.
Yeah. Move on with your life. Well, thank you so much, Adam Zwar, for joining me on the Isolation Tapes.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.